final invasion is here. Soon it shall be doomsday for the digital world. The AVAULT store has been infected with the newest lightning. I have all the prices, and it is your chance to get virus level discounts before it is too late. Time is ticking, and all will be gone when the final countdown reaches 0.
Alright, Digi-Egg cards as we always, starting off with the BT17 BAULMon is just still really good of being able to let you Digivolve as you're trashing your pieces and combos, which is the really main important combo facilitator to enable your OTKs and climb up into your stack all in one single turn. And the crazy thing with this card is it's not even once per turn, so you get to climb from your 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way to your 7, which I'll showcase you guys later. And yeah, definitely the most important 8 that you definitely want to be running, especially for the Loogamon Takemikazuchi build. Now let's talk about our rookies. Of course, Loogamon itself, this one, the BT14 one, is still the best because it lets you slide AGs underneath immediately, gain a memory off of it, and so that you can go for your alliance and blocker combos if you ever need to, making sure you have that inheritable and making sure that you fulfill the requirement of having AG underneath your source at all times as you digivolve upwards. Then for the other Loogamon, just running 4 copies of the other one from BT15, mainly just for increasing the consistency and amount of names being in the deck. This one gives you the deletion for Floodgate rookies, anything 3000 DP or less, and giving you a little bit of draw if you ever have AG underneath it as well. And with its inheritable end of turn gaining a memory is kind of nice, but ideally you want to be seeing the BT14 one in most cases, but that's your secondary if you don't find it. That's it for rookies. That's 8. That's all we're running. We have a lot of searching consistency and draw power cards in this deck anyways. We only really need to see 1. So now let's talk about our level 4s. 4 copies of the Loogamon. I'm running the Loogamon package instead because it just gives you that additional draw power. The collision is kind of nice, and being able to force your opponents to block and being able to taunt is also kind of cheeky sometimes, but you mainly actually go into this guy because it actually helps you facilitate that extra attack that you need to go for the final OTK out of nowhere so you have enough attacks. That's really important, but also giving you extra 1000 DP buff to your stack is going to be really crucial to ensure that nothing can take you down from security battles as well. And speaking of Loogamon, that's why we're also running Dex Loogamon, which is the exact same reason to help us facilitate that 1 extra attack, so then we can go for the whole game-winning combo in one go. And also being able to draw and trash at the same time is really what it's there for. And as well, you can get to pop your opponent's Digimon with 4 costs or less, so they can get into it on top of it. And yeah, that's basically it for those main level 4s to talk about, and I'll show you guys exactly how these cards work in the combo segment. But to round it all off for the level 4s, I'm running 3 copies of Tyrannomon just for the searching consistency. Hard slapping this in the early stages as much as possible is your most ideal way to find your pieces, trash stuff from your hand, and as well as have a blocker on the board is always gonna be nice. So yeah, this card is gonna be a card that you're always gonna prioritize hard playing or otherwise playing by an effect. So yeah, what other BT17 decks are you guys excited about and want to be playing? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a like if you want to see more additional deck profiles and gameplay on the channel as well, and I greatly appreciate the support. But now let's talk about our level 5s as we have Loogamon from BT16. This one being able to Digivolve for 3 effectively on top of any SOC is really important to help us sort of trash cards from our hand. We get to delete opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If we didn't delete anything, we get to play something back that's level 4 or lower from the trash as well to keep the cycle and keep our board consistently having something on there. It also has an all turns effect, which can help you get into a Fenriloogamon from trash by digivolving it for free as long as another SOC Digimon was deleted. Aside from that, its inheritable is also a very important combo facilitator to allow you to unsuspend at the end of attack. Next, I'm also still running 3 copies of Loogamon, which is an incredibly efficient card to help you remove your opponent's Digimon in the mid-game early stages, as well as facilitating to give you additional draw power and grabbing and cycling back your Loogamons all at the same time. This is a really key important card to help you unbrick in situations and get your cycling and drawings and trash going as effectively as possible. And then to round off for the rest of the level 5s, I'm running 2 copies of Loogamon as a spicy tech right here, which is a really good wild card for the deck. You mainly utilize its trashing effect when you trash it from hand, because if you're missing any piece as you're digivolving up and drawing and trashing cards, if you're missing a Loogamon, if you're missing a Fenriloogamon in your hand in particular, but it's in the trash to begin with, by trashing this card from your hand as you go into your Dorga or Dex Dorga or Lugar and so on, you can effectively digivolve into anything else in your trash and utilize it and get into the piece that you particularly need. So say if you're missing Lugar and you went into Dex Dorga and so on, that by trashing it, you can go into your Lugar from your trash, which was already in there to begin with. And that's exactly the reason why you want to run this card, because it gives you so much versatility for all those other cards to compensate when you're missing those particular pieces. Therefore, it does have a when digivolving effect, but we're not going to talk about it because you rarely ever want to be utilizing it at all when it comes to this particular play style. So that wraps up for the level 5s. Now let's talk about level 6s. Certainly need 4 copies of Fenriloogamon. When you digivolve into it, making sure that you have AG underneath it as well, it lets you play out another Fenriloogamon back from trash or a Kazuchimon for free. And this helps synergize with the secondary effect, because all turns when you play another thing, you get to pop one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. And most importantly, with its inheritable, it has the exact same effect as the old Fenriloogamon from BT14, which prevents your turn from ending even if the memory crosses over to your opponent's side, as long as it's less than 3. And since Fenriloogamon plays out Kazuchimon, of course you have to include the Kazuchimon itself. 4 copies of this to ensure the consistency of seeing it as much as possible. Now, this particular Digimon is not going to provide you any value when you digivolve into it, because you cannot digivolve it at all, so we're just going to skip that effect. It does have that end of turn where you can once per turn reduce your opponent's Digimon's DP, recover yourself as well, and make an attack at the same time. But usually when you bring this card out, you're not going to be utilizing any of these effects, because you tend to go for the DNA combo to go into Takemikazuchi most importantly. Now with its inheritable, it gives you further DP reduction when a card was removed from security stack as well at the same time. So really important as you need to rack it up, because this is the main cards that help you go into the all new Fenriloogamon Takemikazuchi, which is your final level 7 boss Digimon of the deck, where I'm playing 3 copies of because you definitely need to see it. This is your main win condition. You need to DNA Digivolve specifically with Fenriloogamon and Kazuchimon together, and it can actually activate from the trash, because when one of your level 6 Digimon with Pulsemon and its text is played specifically, 2 of your Digimon may DNA into this card from the trash effectively. And then afterwards, with its when digivolving, you get to DP reduce 16k to one of your opponent's Digimon, which gets rid of almost anything. You set the opponent's memory to 3, and you get to gain 1 back, so you can continue and preserve your turn, recover 1 as well. Now by doing that is that so they can utilize this when attacking effects by trashing the top card of your own security stack, you also trash the top card of your opponent's security stack at the same time. And keep in mind, this is not once per turn, therefore when you unsuspend and make those multiple checks in, you can actually just finish this game incredibly strong and incredibly quick for this card all alone. So that's it for all of the Digimon. Now let's talk about our Tamers. First and foremost, certainly 4 copies of the new Code Cracker fan card, which effectively is also treated as AG. It has a security effect, which lets you play it out for free, but it's effectively this exact same as the old AG. Instead of gaining new memory, it's a memory setter. And then like I mentioned, with its Mind Link effect, gives Alliance and Blocker to your stack, which is effectively the exact same card and exact same effect. Therefore, I'm also playing 2 copies of the older AG just to increase the effectiveness and efficiency and consistency to see them as much as possible. As you guys know, and like I mentioned earlier, this one just gives you an additional memory at the start and main phase, as long as your opponent has a Digimon. So same reason, you play them for the exact same goals. Then 4 analog views are still really important. Being able to search 2 costs, grab a piece, trash your stuff, set it up, and also having a great synergy with Loogamon and combo to keep up your pace in the game and gain all that memory back is always really good, and often enough the main tamer you want to see in the beginning. Then there's the new option card right here from BT16, not new from BT17, but haven't really got a chance to showcase and talk about this one, the Demon Wolf Castle. I'm just gonna call that for short. For 3 costs, it also lets you search and grab pieces and then trash stuff if you need. With its delay effect, it lets you play a SOC trade card from your trash by reducing the cost by 2, which is really effective because this ensures you, if you don't have a rookie or Loogamon to push out and go for the full line combo, you can utilize this and go into that combo anyways and pay all that memory. But as long as you're going back into Takemikazuchi, it doesn't really matter afterwards at the end of the day. So it's really incredibly good with a security effect doing the exactly same thing, letting you search and grabbing pieces back, and then you get to place it in the battle area. And speaking of this is a fantastic card, and there's a similar card that's actually going to be coming out in the future LM set, and that is Purple Scramble, which is a really good card for this particular deck as well, which you can add in. And I'm excited to add that when we get that card in particular in the English format. So definitely stay tuned, join the AVAULT Club so that you can see early deck lists and so on as I make updates to this particular build. So for tech choices and other cards I've also considered adding into this deck as well, of course, there's always the Loogamon, which is a very generic, great staple to help you further boost your searching consistency and hatching your eggs and so on. We all know how good this card really is, aside of just playing the other Loogamon. Instead, you guys can also play the level 4 Loogamon instead of the Loogamon package or Loogamon package. That's really the main idea what I like, but these are great for giving you memory, a little bit more draw power at the same time, and it's inhurtables. So yeah, definitely a nice alternative to get into as you're going up. And if you consider playing those, you can actually still play some of the older stuff with the older Soul Loogamon and the older Fenrilooga. These are just nice one-off techs I would suggest to give you an alternative sort of win condition or sort of a game plan if you can't execute your main game plan effectively enough. This gives you the diversity and spread out your plays a little bit, which is kind of nice. As we know, the old Soul Loogamon plays things, gain memory, lets us unsuspend, and same with the older Fenriloogamon, we can go super wide and then we can make multiple alliance attacks, unsuspend, and have a lot of other different kinds of removal thanks to itself. So yeah, these are some things I would actually suggest you including one-ofs if you really want to. For boosting options, there's also Purple Memory Boost or Mist Memory Boost to give you additional memory, draw power, finding pieces, and so on. These are some other cards that you can also include if you need to. But one of the key things I find out when I'm playing this deck, I don't need to worry about memory because all that memory is just going to come back to me at the end of the time when I go into Takemikazuchi. So yeah, memory boosts are actually not as needed as you think, but it's nice to have if you want to boost up searching consistency. For removal, Metal Impulse is actually really good inclusion because now the deck is mainly like purple and black base, thanks to a lot of the combination of cards. Being able to de-digivolve and pop things as well is also really fancy. And yeah, just a really nice removal for the deck. And then for other kinds of removal, you do have red sources, which is why Crimson Blaze works out very nicely as well if you ever need to counter against wide metas, wide decks, and so on. Alright, how to play the all-new Fenriloogamon deck, Takemikazuchi, and the OTK combos. Now, when it comes to your opening hand, you really want to see your searching pieces. Demon Wolf Castle, Tyrannomon, Analog Youth are always really important, and of course, you want to be able to see your Loogamon so they can Digivolve in the back. Now, there's actually an incredibly insane turn 2 OTK combo that can actually happen, and it's really crucial that you identify and find these pieces if you're able to pull it off. And that doesn't come out often, but it does come down to you, a little bit of a luck, a little bit of mixture of knowing when you see your pieces as well. So let's just go for it. If you're starting in your first turn, you just want to Digivolve into Loogamon, and then you just find something to play and pass. Analog Youth is fine, Demon's Wolf Castle, or even Tyrannomon, just to grab a few pieces and you want to search. As you're sort of finding your pieces, you need to find your level 4s, your 5s, your 6s, and so on, and as well as Takemikazuchi. Very standard sort of like climbing up line. But anyways, doesn't matter what memory you pass your opponent, assuming they pass you back to 1 effectively. This is sort of what your board will look like. You're going to push out with Loogamon. Now, the first moment before you push out is you want to make sure that you have one or the other of the AGs to give you the Alliance Blocker combo. By sliding any one of them underneath you, effectively gaining a memory back off of here. Now then with that, That means you need to get access into your level 4, which is your Loogamon. It can Digivolve for 2 costs on top of a level 3 SOC trait Digimon. So by paying that 2 memory, you get to draw and trash. Well, trash 1 and then draw 1. Now, very important in these stages of the game is to make sure that you're trashing the piece that you intend to Digivolve into. Now, in this particular reason of having to play Loogamon, how it enables you that extra attack to go for that game-winning play, because this is going to be your main attacking starter. Now with Loogamon, you're going to trash out Dex Loogamon into there. Immediately after that, your opponent usually doesn't have any Digimon that can block and stop your attack, because this is literally your second turn. They probably just play something to set up, boost, memory setter, whatever it is, and they only have one thing in the back. Now by attacking with Loogamon, if it would be deleted in security, this is why Dex Loogamon comes in, because then you get to Digivolve into Dex Loogamon to prevent it from being deleted in security. When Dex Loogamon Digivolves, you get to trash and draw. Now, really important stage is also to make sure to trash the Digimon you're trying to Digivolve into, because when you trash Loogamon, this is when your Baomon kicks in, which lets you Digivolve into it for the 3 cost. Also remember to draw to Digivolve, and as you're going up, Loogamon is going to let you trash pieces again. Now these are important moments to keep in mind. What you want to have to be seeing in your trash is setting up your Kazuchi and your Takemikazuchi at the same time, all really important. The other card you want to be tossing away is your Fenriloogamon Office Effect. Afterwards, you pop something. Like I said, your opponent probably doesn't have anything to pop. That means you get to play out something. And ideally, you get to play Tyrannomon, because with Tyrannomon, you can search and find more pieces and then grab and then toss away something else. So make sure at some point you toss away Fenriloogamon, and during the process, you're tossing away Kazuchi and Takemikazuchi as much as you can, and having that kind of setup in the trash. And all youth basically helps you facilitate that in the early stages. And same for the Demon Wolf Castle. That's why they're fantastic turn 1 plays. Afterwards, Baomon kicks in once again. Because Fenriloogamon was trashed from Loogamon's effect, you get to Digivolve into Fenriloogamon, or if not, it was trashed away from Tyrannomon's effect. You pay the 3 memory, putting your opponent to 6, which does not matter whatsoever, because as soon as Fenriloogamon's Digivolved, you have an AG underneath it, you're going to play out Kazuchimon out here. By playing out Kazuchimon, your Takemikazuchi is going to trigger from the trash, which allows you to effectively DNA both of them into this right here. As soon as you DNA, you set these memory back to 3. And then because you DNA'd, you're gonna gain 1, and you're gonna recover a security as well, which is gonna be really important. And this is again gonna be second turn. So you're actually gonna have effectively 6 security in total to work with right here, because you're gonna have 5, and then you're gonna have that 1. Afterwards, your turn doesn't end because of Fenriloogamon's inheritable. And this is the moment where you attack with Takemikazuchi, but before you attack, you also get to minus something by 16 KDP, which again, if your opponent does have anything on the board during the time when you go for this combo, fantastic removal as you're going up, because Fenriloogamon is also going to pop something that has 10k or lower, and you're removing basically your opponent's entire Digimon or their boss or whatever, and you don't have to worry about anything, even when it comes to sort of trying to blast into a level 7 ace or 6 or whatnot. But anyways, you attack with Fenriloogamon, like I mentioned, uses one attacking effect, which is not once per turn, by the way. You trash your own security to trash your opponent, and then you alliance with Tyrannomon, and you're swinging effectively for at least 20k, 21k with Loogamon. Now with that, you'd go for 2 checks, and basically at this point, 4 of your opponent's security is gone. 1 from the Loogamon check earlier, thanks to Dex Doru to keep it alive, 1 from trashing, and then 2 checks off here because of alliance. At the end of attack, Loogamon is going to trigger. Because your opponent has 1 or more memory, you're going to unsuspend your Takemikazuchi, and because Takemikazuchi's one attacking effect is not once per turn, you just finish it off once again, trash your own security, trash your opponent's security, and they have 0 left, and you effectively swing for game. This is the OTK combo, full power all together, which is absolutely insane when you pull it off. And if you can pull it off in the second turn, it is actually insanely nuts. Now, one of the things I want to mention in the middle of stages of the game, you're not always going to see this, that's the play. So therefore, you're going to be playing your Tamers to search and whatnot, your options, Tyrannomon, like I mentioned. And if you're also ever missing any pieces as you're trying to climb up, especially from your Loogamon onwards up to your Lugar or Fenrir, say for example, Lugar and Fenrir are already in trash to begin with, this, and you don't have them in your hand, this is where Scope Luki comes in clutch, because say for example, Dex Lugar trashes and draw one, you trash the Scobaluki, draw a card, and this enables you to Digivolve into any of these pieces if you need to go for that wild card play. And then you go into Loogamon. Let's just say again, in that particular situation, you have Fenriloogamon and trash already, and you only have Baluki, trash the Scobaluki, so you get access into Fenrilooga to Digivolve it into that, just like that, which is absolutely insane. This gives you that very good versatility. You can come back if you don't find that particular piece. And also, not to mention, this combo, if you don't have Bowmon in Raising, but the Bowmon's in trash to begin with, this is where the Demon Wolf of the Nine Castle, whatever, comes in clutch, because you by pop it, you get to play out Loogamon, and although you get to climb all the way back again, keep in mind you won't be able to have that Doruga swing because it doesn't have rush, but at least if you chipped away your opponent's security once in the early stages, you still get to go and access into this whole DNA combo with the Takemikazuchi and repeat all of that you saw earlier and finish them off just like that, which is insane. Now, of course, other game plans like I really like to play, like I mentioned, early stages to play Tyrannomon, and it's just always really important that you can also go into Loogamon if you need to, spot remove your opponent's Digimon, draw trash cards, and then grab Luga back from trash. And with synergy with Analog Youth, you can continue to hatch, Digivolve, and keep your momentum in pace all at the same time, which is just really, really good. And in some sticky situations, let's just say you do ever go into a suboptimal stat with Fenriloogamon, even though you can't DNA with Kazuchi, say you're missing that particular piece or whatnot, that's when you can also just hard Digivolve into Takemikazuchi and still sort of continue those combos a little bit here to sort of go into it, and at least you have something on the board to sort of control attack, and exert as much pressure as possible. So that's how you want to play it. Really, really cool, exciting OTK combo that you guys never seen before, and you guys should definitely try it out for yourself. So don't forget to get your very own version of the Viral Invasion playmat on the AVAULT store right now with virus level discounts. Everything and details will be left in the description box and in the pinned comments down below, and I appreciate the support. Watch the gameplay guide to learn more and see this deck in action, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video, and this is AVAULT signing out.